So let's just keep it simple. We got Visual Studios open, and we got my little website page that I'm just using as an example to demonstrate how simple I'm going to make this for you guys. So what I use, because I'm a beginner, I've only been doing this for like 2 months, is I use ChatGPT. Most people use it for copy and paste of the source code. I don't do that because I want to make it fun and make it look like I'm actually feel like I'm learning something. So what you'll do is, let's say you want a border around your page to start out, right? You want a black border like this one. You want it to at least look like it has some type of whatever. You'll just type into ChatGPT, give me an example of a border for my HTML website made in CSS, and it'll give you an example, and then you can kind of go with it. You can change things as you go, like I have, and then you learn that way, so you can memorize and not have to watch 1,000 videos on YouTube. So pretty much what I've done is this. For example, you have here, we'll go ahead and delete this stuff. Boop, boop. We'll delete this page and start from the beginning. If you have Visual Studios, right, you hit Shift, exclamation point, tab. It'll do this, right? Let's say I want my title of the whole page to be just, let's say, Greek blog or whatever, right? So we got the title. Now, let's say we are down here in the body. Well, first we want to put the CSS. I like to do internal CSS because there's external CSS, which is you'll have another freaking page. Right here, you'll create another one. It'll be another tab, and you'll have to do your CSS on the other page. And you have to link it, and it's just complicated for people who are new. So if you go to the head and you hit tab down, and you type in style, that's going to be your CSS. If you do that, it'll auto make it. Hit tab, and that way your CSS is ready to go when you're ready to do what you want to do. So here we're going to go H1, which H1 it goes all the way up to H6. The bigger the number, the littler the words are, right? So H1, this will be like my little header. Put welcome to my blog, right? And then below that, I'll put, well here, let's go ahead and run it first. Let's save and let's run it. So go up here, go to run without debugging, and it pops up, look, Greek blog, welcome to my blog. So now we want a line because it looks blank, it just looks like it's hovering. So horizontal roll, this is what it is, HR. Put it below it, right? Just so it stays all the way, Control S, because you want it below it, boom. Now when you do it below it like that, it's gonna make that line for you. And then we'll go down here, we'll do, let's say H2, which makes it just a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and, hold on, let's do that so we don't have it crunched up. H2, let's type in like myth and legend, just to keep it simple. Control S, now you have myth and legend. Down here, HR, same thing as the top, HR, right? Control S, refresh the page. Does the same thing right there for you. And then down here, we'll go ahead. Well, first off, let's do this. I want to put div copy. This is what a div is. If you already looked it up, a div is just it keeps everything contained in the container, so nothing else. Like, I'll show you. Hold on. Copy. Put this down here. Paste. Pretty much, when you do this between the div and the div closing / it's going to allow you to put everything in the middle right here. I mean, you could do it without it, but it just keeps it neat, so everything is just separate. So if you were to go down here and start something new, you would just do div and have your own bracket. Everything inside that bracket would just be, you know, contained. That's it. So now let's do let's go ahead and hit enter, because you still want to do your stuff within that bracket. Let's do a paragraph, which is just P, right? So let's go, I love Greek mythology. It's awesome. Control S, and look at that. Now if you want to make that bold or italic, right? I for italic, B for bold. So you want to make your little bracket, I, and then the bracket to close it, and it'll copy the end bracket for you already. So you can copy that, delete that part, paste right here, hit Control S to save, refresh your page up here, and it made it italic. You can also add a bold right there. See how I made an end bracket for it? Copy that for the end bracket part. Make sure that this is touching. So that's touching, or it won't work. Paste that little part right there. Hit Control S. Now look, it makes it bold. Okay. So now we're done with that. We'll go here. And we will make a new div. So let's bring this back up here. So we'll go down here, make a new bracket, enter, and we'll do div. That. Put body, class. So you kind of already autocorrects for class, and we're gonna do border because we want to make a border around the page, right? Border dash page. And then close it off with a bracket. It's going to autocorrect. It wants to. Just don't do that. Just do that. Control S. Now we're going to go up to here where this says style. Now we want to do CSS because we wrote down our stuff, H1, H2, our paragraph, things like that. So now CSS allows you to style it. So now you can style things. You can add a background image to make your page look kind of cool. So in between the style, this is how you style everything, make everything look kind of pretty in a sense, right? We're right here. Let's do the body, space, hit shift and hit that little bracket, the squiggly brackets, I forget what they're called, and do that. And like I said, I went to ChatGPT on Google, which is free, and I wanted to look up how to make a border for my entire page, and it gave me an example, and I played with the percentages a little bit just to make it look thicker, but we'll just go over that. So you can copy mine and just change whatever you want. That's how I've learned. So margin, we want it to be 0, and then that, the padding, we want that to be 0 as well. Go down here, do background, and we'll do background URL, because what I've done was I went and saved a picture on Google. I went to Google and I just saved a picture as, like right here, for example. I saved it right here as mountain, right? So when you go to the internet, you type in background picture, whatever you're looking for, right click, save as, and then just type whatever you want for that picture, it'll be there. Make sure though that on the bottom it says JPG, like it wants you to know what kind of file it wants. Just make sure it says JPG. You'll see. So look, mountain .jpg right there. So that's all there is to that part. We want the background, because right now I'm doing the background image first, and then I'll do the background border around the page just to keep it, simple so you guys can see. So right now we'll just do the background image. Background size. We're gonna want that to cover the whole page, right? So we'll put cover. That's all for that. The position, we want it to be centered. We want it to be in the center of the page. So background position, background, and it should say right here, look, position. And we want that to be center, which it says right here. Hit enter. And we don't, what happened was when my background image popped up, instead of it being one big image, it had like a bunch of little boxes, and that was because I didn't do this, which is background, repeat, and we want it to not repeat. So look, you just scroll through, not repeat. Control S to save that, and let's hit refresh. Now look how it pops up just half the page because we're not done yet. So we're gonna go to here, we're gonna type in body again, body, space, shift, squiggly line, hit enter so it does that. Margin, we want that to be 0 because we don't want it to have a limit. It'll just go across the page. We want padding, which is the thickness of the entire thing. We also want that to be 0 because we don't want the background image to be thick, right? And then we want to put display. If you don't do this, it won't display the image fully. So display, and we want it to flex across the whole screen. That's why it looks like it is right now, right? Because it's not flexed. So it's going to look like that if you don't do this. And then we want the min height to be, and this is what ChatGPT told me, like, hey, if you want your whole page, like if you screw up and it looks like this, say, how do I make it fit the whole page? Because it'll understand and it'll give you an example of what I'm doing right now. Like this is the example it gave me to fix the issue that you're looking at right here with the side picture, right? So min height, it told me to put 100 VH, which I really am not gonna lie to you, don't know what that means. I just know it helps with the whole thing. And then hit Control S to save it. And look at that. Now it covered the whole page, right? Now down here, when we did bordered page, right? So we'll come back up here, have another little area up here, enter. We're gonna type in period, and we're gonna say bordered, red, wow, bordered dash page. So just like I said down there in the body, you do it up at the CSS. So, like I have bordered page right here, I'm also going to put it right here, but you have to put a period right there. Don't know why, that's just how it is. Bordered page, and then you'll do your little bracket, shift bracket, do that. And this is where you're going to say border. And like I said, this is just, you guys use the same stuff. This will help you if you guys try to keep a simple web page to do what I'm doing right now. This is what you would need to do, and you can just change it on a preference thing. So it told me to do 10px when I looked it up because I was like, how do I do a border that looks good? You know what I mean? When I asked GPT, it gave me this example also. So, and in between this, don't go after the bracket. Stay in here, just hit space and put solid. And hit space again and put B for black. If you want it to be red, it could be red. If you want it to be black, it could be black. It could be any color we want. The width, we want it to be 100% because it's going across the whole screen. Right? Hit enter. We want the height to be also 100%. We want it to be equal, right? So the height, 100%. You don't want it to be different. And then box sizing, which you see how it gives it to you, box sizing. We want it to be bordered box or bordered dash box. It's just, that's what we want. And the padding, which is the thickness of the line, that's going to be the border that's around the thing. We want that to be 20px. That's what the GB thing told me. So we did that. So Control S. And now look. The whole page is bordered black. You got your welcome, you got your title, you got your paragraph. So far, not looking too bad. So we've styled it. See, style, in between the style tag, style and end style, everything in between that is your styling CSS. That's the whole nother code. HTML is like literally just typing. Like P for paragraph, I love Greek mythology, and then it shows up. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the pretty simple aspects of HTML and CSS. If you're just trying to keep it simple. And then now pretty much, so like I said, up here, you got your style for CSS. We can bring this up a little bit since it's already done. We're done doing with what our example is. You got your title. A div is just, the brackets in between, you'll put your stuff in there. That way you can just have a cleaner look. Like you see, look, see div, closing bracket div, in between, it's its own thing. Div, in between, closing bracket, everything in between is its own thing. It just helps you separate it. But look, I got H1, welcome to my blog. It looks big. H2 is a little bit smaller, myth and legend. And then I have my paragraph, which is not really a paragraph, just an example. And then you could just keep going. You can just, if you want to bring this down and keep paragraphs in here, you could just come here. You could just do paragraph P, And then, you know, today is a good day for learning. Control S to save it, refresh your page. And then you have it down here. And you could do all kinds of different things. You can make this site interactive through CSS, which I'm learning. You can put videos right below your paragraph over here. You can put like a video with a little button, which I'll make more videos if you guys like this kind of content. You can add little side pictures. You can add buttons to whatever. I mean, you guys, there's so many projects you can make, and you don't even have to just do websites. You could do simple stuff like a registration form or a login page, which is the front end. Like it'll just have the front end where you'll type in the name, type in your email, stuff like that. And then whoever does the back end, which will be like JavaScript or Python, those people would do the innards and stuff. You are just responsible for the prettiness and the outside of it with HTML and CSS. So I think I'll keep it short, keep it, you know, nice and sweet there. If you guys like this kind of content, if this helped you out as a beginner, if this is something you like to see and you want me to go through more steps like this, I will do so. And I think that's it, guys, for this video. Like and subscribe.